Oh, thank God, none of you guys can hear me. Hello, welcome to uh this is Tabletop Junkie bringing you guys another stream. Sorry, we've been on for like a minute. Good thing you guys didn't hear anything. My girlfriend and I just had a little bit of a dispute argument, so we're not gonna go much into that because that's not what we're here for. We're here to basically do a stream and to tell a story. Tabletop games for everyone. So today I actually ended up getting a new program last night. So we're going to use that and we're going to start telling a story. We're going to tell a story about a halfling bard who is starting to travel around the world and to make his way into basically people's hearts and also possibly the pants of many women. He loves women. He loves women of every race, human, elf, maybe an orc. We're not sure. He's true to his he's true to his word. He doesn't really look at many different things. He is out to experience the world for the first time and to basically see how it is out there. His name is Rylaman, the Halfling Bard. He stands about 3 feet tall, weighs about 36 pounds, which gives him an average build, with brown hair and green eyes. He is currently about 33 years of age. Rylaman loves to sing at taverns and earns money any way he can while trying to date the bar maidens. He is very intelligent, but at times oblivious when noticing things. Rylaman does come from a distant land, and he doesn't very much like to talk about it. He has currently brought himself into a bar, into a tavern, to basically woo the fans with his sing-song of performance. And for that, we are going to perform a performance check. I'm not sure if bards have performance as like a thing, so we're going to just wing it. He plays a lute. Let's see here. Performance is a charisma roll. Oh, yes. Yep. Alright, so he is going to perform with this lute. No, he doesn't have a lute. I'm sorry. He has a ukulele. So he is going to play a song on his ukulele. Let's see how well he does. So he begins to come into the bar, or into the tavern. He takes the stage. He thumbs a few strings. And then he begins his song. And no, I'm not going to sing for you, so get over that one. Well, that was a charisma roll that I scored an 18 on. So he is playing the ukulele, which I'm pretty sure he thinks is a lute because he's pretty oblivious, but he's very smart. No, I'm just kidding. So he's playing the ukulele, and he just starts, oh God, what kind of songs can you play with the ukulele? He goes, you know what? I've been hearing this one song. It's always stuck in my head. My stupid heart. No, there we go. We're getting on that one. So he begins playing the ukulele, and everyone around him gathers. And he catches the eye of this blonde hair, hazel eye female. She stands very tall because she's actually a human compared to him. She stands about 5'6", with an average body build, with blonde hair and hazel eyes. Her name is Sera. And she kind of goes up to him after he finishes the song, and everybody around him claps, earning just a little bit of gold. There, I got a nat 20 on that one. So he earned about 40 gold pieces. So Sera comes around, and Rylaman is taken by her, very much taken by her, as he earns 40 gold pieces from this tavern. He looks at her, and she looks back at him, and he says, "My lady, Let me buy you an ale. He goes and drops, like, I believe an ale in this world would be like 5 silver. So we're going to say he drops a gold piece and gets 2 ales, one for himself and one for the lady. And he says, "What is my lady's name?" And she goes, "My name is Sera." "What is the name of the performer of tonight's festivities?" "My name is Rylaman." They exchange names and begin a conversation. Rylaman, of course. Let's see here. Rylaman notices many, many beautiful features on this lady. And now I got to do a roll for her real quick because she is actually trying to seduce him. Oh yeah, no. Somehow this did not work out in her favor. So, as she is trying to seduce him and to reach for the gold in his pocket, she is captured by a moment and has, for some reason, became somewhat shaken and stirred by this halfling. She is, she loses sight on what she really wants, which is the gold in his pocket. Before they knew it, Rylaman buys another ale. They both are drinking. 2 ales are going to both give me a constitution check. Well, she passes. And Rylaman fails. Rylaman becomes a little tipsy and buzzing, and he starts slurring his words. He's like, "My lady, I am feeling pretty good. I say we should get a room. Why, I still have gold to get a room. I don't know how much I spent." As he slaps down another gold piece, not realizing that he just bought him and her another ale. So they both begin drinking again, while he's already tipsy. She starts feeling kind of funny and becomes tipsy herself. However, Rylaman has become full-blown drunk. And she uses this moment to begin her whole reason why she started this journey with trying to seduce this halfling, and that is to reach for the gold in his pocket. However, she quickly falls face first right into his lap. And he's taken back. He is like a very beautiful woman is in my lap. I'm buying a room. So he orders for a room of the best furnishings for him and Sera. And of course, there is a complimentary ale for both of them. And he spends roughly 7 more gold pieces, to also gain a little bit of food, to help soak up the ale. Sera did not want to let him know that something was up, and so they both started drinking again. And they both have seriously failed. At this point, they are both stumbling over drunk, not paying attention to anyone around them. They manage to walk up to the room, open the door, and shut the door. The scene stops. Sometime later, Rylaman wakes up and realizes that he is naked and is also in the forest and is also missing everything he ever owns, and including his clothes. He has his gold pieces. He quickly scrambles for a sack of gold pieces. Did not find any. His backpack has been taken, along with his ukulele and all of his food that he was bringing with him. He has and none of his weapons is on him whatsoever. He is currently carrying nothing on him. He remembers the girl from the tavern being Sera. However, he can't find Sera and does not know where she might be. He scrambles to his feet and finds himself in this forest area right here. We're going to zoom in. So there's a couple notes here. Right here, Rylaman and Sera are said to be in this location. Doesn't seem to be any settlement around. He looks, and for miles, he cannot see any form of settlement. He doesn't know where the tavern is, which direction he went into, nor which direction could the rogue have gone into. Or, not the rogue, but Sera, who is also a rogue, but we will get to that in a moment. He begins looking around for tracks. Although, he does remember he is very bad at this. And finds truthfully nothing. He is truthfully lost, cold, and naked in the forest. Meanwhile, as he roams the forest in random directions, he then is surrounded by men in leather, some wielding swords, some wielding daggers. And this one, and as soon as he was surrounded by, I think let's see, how many is he going to be surrounded by? $11, and one Bandit King. Whoops, spoiler alert. So as soon as he is surrounded by 11 of these men in padded leather, another man in padded leather, but maybe looking a little bit better, with a beard, comes out and says, "Good day to you, sir. I am the Bandit King. These are my merry men of bandits. Now, we notice that you have nothing to offer us. So I'm going to give you this one chance. Swear your allegiance to me and become one of my merry bandits. You will serve us drinks. You will do as we ask. You have no choice in the matter. You either do this or die." The roguish lady, Sera, has brought you here. And we made sure she made it here. So that way we could attain another servant in our service. Rylaman looks around and goes, "So my options are join merry men of bandits with one potential lady that is nowhere to be seen, or die. Gee, tough choice." The Bandit King laughs. This sarcastic laugh is like, "I don't know what's so tough about that choice." And Rylaman smiles as well. For instance, you've never really dealt with halflings too much. The Bandit King is confused, as he has dealt with many halflings, but not sure what he meant by this. As he was thinking about it, the merry bandits also became distracted with what the king was thinking about. And he's like, "I have no idea what this halfling's talking." As he stops, they all notice the halfling is missing. That somehow he is snuck out of the circle. And suddenly he says, "Get him, you fools! He clearly has fooled us. Go, find him immediately." They begin searching the entire area for him, which extends out for over 8 miles. As they were going through, they begin poking and prodding out bushes, and Rylaman just suddenly bolts out of a bush, just running as fast as his little legs can carry. However, given that he is a small creature, he was quickly surrounded by the bandits of merry men. And he's like, okay, okay. I'm sorry. I clearly overestimated my skill. And the Bandit King says, clearly. Okay. I think we should kill him now. And Rylaman, is like, okay, well, I guess I die here. Not really a death foretold by many heroes, I take it. But that's okay. So I'm going to make a couple rolls here before we start the battle. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, okay, and one more roll here. Yeah, I'm taking that one. Alright, so as they begin closing in on him wearing virtually no clothing whatsoever, the Bandit King, all you hear around the Bandit King is a whip cracking. Whatcha! And the Bandit King's head arched and falls clearly off his body, and his body falls limp. The bandits' merry men look at the Bandit King as he lies, and notices that the whip belongs to the same lady that seduced Rylaman. It was Sera. Alright, the idea was not to kill him, but to give him in servitude, and no one has paid me my gold yet. I doubt I'm going to get it now. And she tosses Rylaman his sack, his backpack, and his armor, and all of his weapons. As he begins putting them on, the bandits begin attacking Sera. Sera, of course, is going to get a nice surprise stack. Oh, for crying out loud, give me like a decent roll. That's decent enough. Okay, so as they begin charging her, she manages to spin the whip around again and cracks another bandit right in the face as quickly as he could move, and his face splits open, and literally his skin was shaved off his bones as he falls to the ground, shaking. She takes a quick minute and tries to intimidate these people with that nice attack, and she goes, anyone else who thinks they're brave enough to attack or has the skill to take me on, come right up, but I will do that to every single one of you if you move 1 foot closer to me. And she completely and utterly fails. They begin charging her once more while Rylaman is still getting on his clothes. Alright. Now we gotta roll initiative. The bandits get to go first. Huh. Well, this is interesting. So one of the bandits managed to pull out his dagger and strike at Sera's. For 3 points of damage. She takes damage right to her. Right to her torso, across her chest. She begins bleeding. Not sure how bad, but I don't think she has a lot of hit points. Oh no, that was like nearly half, so she's bleeding profusely bad. Meanwhile, everyone has actually forgotten about Rylaman. As their backs were turned and they didn't perceive him as much of a threat, this gave Rylaman the time to get everyone's attention and go, hey now, why don't we all just get along? Okay, let's sing a song about getting along. And he begins flaring up his ukulele. And he strings a few chords and begins singing about peace to calm these savage people. Or, well, these savage bandits, really. And he's got a 13. Okay. And he only had to score an 11. Alright. So let's see here. Let's look at I get to look at my diplomacy chart. Because, unfortunately, there is something against hostile people. And it's usually not good. Oh, plus 5. Oh, crap. So that's 16. And I scored a 13, only needing an 11. So I got 2 better than that. So they stop for a moment. Not really sure what's going on. Even Rylaman was like, do they still want to kill us? But soon after, they began capturing Sera and Rylaman. They surrounded them once more, as Rylaman actually did not capitalize on the fact that he should run away. And he's like, I think I should have capitalized on that. And Sera turns around while being tied to his back. You think? And he's like, okay, so he turns back to Sera. So what's the plan? I'm like, I don't have no plan. Do you have a plan? I don't have a plan. And suddenly the bandits begin saying, we need to select a new king and a new leader. And another bandit comes up and says, I agree. I think it should be me. And then another one agrees. No, I think it should be me. No, it should be me. It should be me. And then soon they begin all erupting in a full-blown fight and actually started slaying each other to see which one would actually win, and the winner gets to be crowned king. In the midst of a fight, Sera took this brief moment to try to escape. And she managed to actually get all the ropes off of her and her feet, and also Rylaman. And he's like, and you said you didn't have a plan. They quickly grabbed their items and ran off into the forest, leaving behind what is left of the merry men. Or the merry men of bandits. Sera turned to Rylaman and is unsure what location she went in, or what direction she went in from the location of the town they were in. Oh, really? You forgot. So you kidnapped me, and then forget where we came from. That's just nice. Look here, you little halfling. Okay? I agree. I did not act in the best manner. And now we're stuck in a forest together. I will also admit that the events that have happened here today between the Bandit King and his men of bandits, that did not unfold expectedly as well. It would appear that luck is on our side, said Rylaman. Sera's like, I don't believe in luck. And he just, like, scuffs at her. And it's like, okay, don't believe in luck. Okay. Whatever. You know, I don't remember you doing a whole lot. Other than whipping a few skin off a few guys' faces. And she's like, actually, I think I split his face open and his skull fell out. While still attached to his body. While he was even still alive. Okay. So, we're in a forest. Where do we go from here? Well, we can go north, east, south, or west. Which one do you think we should go in? Rylaman's on for sure. Rylaman just wants to get back to the freaking town and not give a crap about this lady who literally snuck him into a room just to steal his clothes. Oh, and all his gold is missing. And he's like, wait a minute. You didn't give me back my gold. What gold? Oh, that gold. The gold that you... Yeah. Well, since I saved you, I think you owe me half. Rylaman is looking at her like, well, I wouldn't have to save you if you didn't kidnap me in the first freaking place. Kidnapping, such an ugly word. Like, I didn't kidnap you. I slightly might have sold you up Shit's Creek without a battle. That's all. Rylaman's looking at her like, I don't see what the difference is. Well, the way I look at it, I'm willing to give you 15 of your gold pieces back. The rest I'm willing to keep. Unless you can take them off me, I don't really think there's much you're going to be able to do. Rylaman began smiling for a moment and began looking at her and then started to stare at her with the same eyes that he stared at her. And he said, well, I happen to be very good at getting things that I want. Suddenly, without realizing it, she dropped the sack of all of his coins right at his feet. He picks it up and goes, thank you. She's like, don't mention it. He's like, well, I don't have much of any food. I only have 2 weeks worth, so we need to find some form of settlement soon so we can restock on supplies. And then I need to find the nearest town and report a kidnapping. She's like, what makes you think I'm going to help you get there? It's like, very easy. You brought me out here. You can take me back. I barely escaped back there. I'm like, well, and whose fault is that? All right, which way should we go? Northeast, south, or west? She's like, honestly, I kind of got lost out here. This is kind of a very dangerous forest. And Rylaman's like, okay, and you got lost, but you still need to return me to the settlement. Ma'am. So, after a little bit of a spat, they began picking a direction. Rylaman picked north, and Sera picked south. The only thing that nobody could ever figure out why, as they both picked different directions to go into. Nobody can figure out why, she didn't kidnap. As Sera picked south and said, we're going south, Rylaman said north, and we're going north. They both finally stared at each other as an impasse and said, fine. Rylaman, who picked north, started going south. Sera, who picked south, started going north. and they began walking in opposite directions of one another. Thus will conclude Thus will conclude this part of the adventure at this time. Sorry, I'm just filling in some things real quick. As they both went off in different directions. Will they meet again? Does Sera have a crush on Rylaman, or are they just simply lost in a forest of danger? What they both don't know is they find themselves in the forest of the lost souls, not knowing where they are or which direction to go into. But they will find out on the next session episode, and what encounters they may have during these visits. Tune in next time.